Look at her, Richard. Look at how magnificent she is. The most deadly hunter ever created. The most deadly dinosaur ever created. And I did it because I'm a mad scientist.
You're mad. You are mad. How can you play God by creating a dinosaur? However, did you do this?
Well, I just let her listen to this Pod Bros exclusive.
What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
We are speaking the language of bromance. Shawn.
Yo.
Shawn. Number one, don't ever answer me with yo. You know why? Because it's no longer 1995. And two, I think I've expressed my opinion about this, but how do you feel? What's your opinion on reality television?
Oh, so I know like everybody always talks about reality TV and they said like Survivor's what started it, but that's incorrect.
No, that's incorrect. I would have to say the Real World started it.
Everybody forgets.
Was I right?
No, yeah,
Did I win a prize?
Everybody forgets about the Real World because that was like
I actually did like the Real World. I like the Real World San Francisco. I did not like the Real World New York.
I only remember the one with the cowboy. I don't think he was racist, but he was just like a weird cowboy. And
I don't know.
Maybe they took him to San Francisco. He's like, "What are those two boys over there doing? Why they hold hands? Oh dear Jesus!"
I liked the Real World San Francisco because they had this one guy in there. I want to say his name was Puck, but he looked like Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols.
I remember
he had blonde, spiky hair.
We're going to take 8 people and put them in a house with cameras and see what happens.
And Puck was just like an asshole to everybody. I was like, Puck's awesome.
This is what happened when people stop being something and become real.
Stop being friendly.
Ah, yeah.
Stop being nice and start getting real.
Yeah, the real world. Yeah.
San Francisco.
I remember my folks watching that a little bit. But reality TV kind of like Survivor kind of, I think, pushed it to network TV. Yeah. Because then you had all the game show reality TVs where it's like,
right.
It's like, no, this isn't Survivor. Survivor is you put 12 people on an island and whoever lives.
I didn't watch the first season of Survivor. I did end up watching the finale of Survivor. And I think the only reason was I didn't have a washer and dryer at the time.
Oh.
And so I was taking my clothes to the laundromat. And so I was at the laundromat that night and it happened to be on the TV, and so I watched it while I was folding clothes.
How'd that make you feel?
And I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, I mean, I kind of get it, but I don't know.
It's just, I mean, the way they kind of said it is like Survivor, so like you have to survive, but it's really just games, and then you vote people off, which is the bigger game. And so I lost interest super quick. I mean, I was like 12 or 11 at the time, so I was expecting like this free-for-all, like, oh my God, these people have to survive on this island. And it's like, no, they just have to be dicks to each other and form alliances and vote each other off the island.
Yeah, just like be an asshole and occasionally win a game.
Yeah, dick move,
and then
Sawyer.
You'll be fine.
Wait, was that Lost? I don't remember. They're all kind of the same.
I hadn't watched Lost either.
It's good up till the end. Then you're like, are they in purgatory? Are they like, is it an island? Like, those writers had no clue what they were doing, did they? Fuck, polar bear, throw it in there. What's a smoke monster?
That's what I was
evil.
Say. I remember I heard something about a smoke monster.
Yeah. I mean, like the first couple seasons are good, but then it's just like you feel like they just have like a dartboard. Like, all right, what are we gonna do? Thunk. Aliens. Let's do it.
Is it like that? Is it like that South Park episode where they figure out how Family Guy's made?
Probably, yeah.
Where it's just like it's whales that just push balloons with words on it together, and then they make jokes based on that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, all right. I guess Family Guy was pissed about that.
Yeah, get over it. I mean, it's South Park. It's like South Park's the original Family Guy.
Oh my God.
South Park's like, we've never been canceled 2 times.
I fucking love South Park. New season of South Park.
It's like the 21st season or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I love it. And it's still funny. It's still funny and relevant and good and all the things. And they're coming out with a game.
I saw that. Did you see how they make the difficulty?
Yes. For those that don't know, the way the difficulty setting works is the more difficult you want the game, the darker your skin color becomes.
No social commentary there at all.
If you want the game on high difficulty, you're black, and if you want the game on easy difficulty, you're white. And then there's a whole slider in between. Now, from what I understand, that doesn't affect combat. That simply affects the amount of loot that is dropped at combat, and it affects your social interactions with other characters.
Okay.
So there you go. It doesn't make the combat in and of itself harder. But anyway, off on a tangent. Back to reality TV.
Reality TV.
Shawn, you and I are going to go to a special place, okay? Now I want you to...
This is intervention.
No, not the back of a Volkswagen. That's an uncomfortable place. We're going to go to a special... We're going to go, you and I, Shawn, we are going to go to Eden.
The garden?
Close. It's like a garden.
Are
no,
there
I will
fruits?
not eat your apple. I refuse. Give me your damn apple, you son of a bitch.
What? The
Shawn,
snake told me to.
You always do what snakes tell you to do?
Sometimes.
Snake told you to jump off a bridge. Would you do it?
Probably if it was chasing me. Because I'm scared of snakes. Like
The
Jesus
snake
Christ, snake.
If a snake told me to jump off a bridge, I'd be like, holy shit, a talking snake.
Here, let me take you and make you into a chipmunk-esque singing snake.
Yeah.
I'll
and
make
I
millions.
catch it and tour the country, me and my talking snake. All he wants to do is he wants everybody to eat apples. I don't know. Like Johnny Appleseed, but he's a talking snake.
Learn a new joke, Steven.
New material. Shawn, Eden was a British reality TV series.
I'm already in. Fish and chips.
Yep. The land of fish and chips.
Yep.
The land of Sherlock.
Mm-hmm.
The land of land of
Who?
Game of Thrones. Doctor Who. This is a British reality TV series. The first season was broadcast on Channel 4 in July. From July to August in 2016.
Okay.
It's not that long. And this is like mid-July to early August. So this is like 3 weeks.
Well, if it's like American TV, there's nothing on, so everybody's got to be tuned into this. It's like, we got to watch Eden. There's got to be nudity on that, right?
I don't know. I don't know how British television handles nudity. I'm gonna say they're a big no on the nudity.
Well,
they do. They're okay with profanity. Like you can say shit on British television and it's okay, but they'll bleep fuck. I think. Yeah,
well, I think
they'll bleep fuck, but they won't bleep shit.
Well, depending on what channel and what time, you can say shit on a TV in America too.
Oh, that's true.
I think network's kind of iffy on that one.
Speaking of things that were censoring TV, there was an episode of South Park about that.
Mm-hmm. Why? That's why they called them. What do they call it? Profanity, and like it came like a shit monster.
That's why they called them curse words.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then there was a dragon that got summoned because they used the word too much. Good times. South Park did it. South Park did it, and Simpsons did it. Those are the two things. Let's see. So it featured 23 participants, and they were living for a year in a remote part of Scotland.
Holy shit, that's a long ass time for a reality show.
Well, yeah, but okay. But let's do the math here, Shawn. They lived for a year in a remote part of Scotland. The show aired from mid-July to early August.
Were they in a time warp?
Maybe. Let's find out. They were living for a year in a remote part of Scotland. They were attempting to build a self-sufficient community. The show was filmed by the participants themselves, and production began in March of 2016.
So there's no cameramen. So this is kind of like, I think Discovery Channel has something like this where they take like 12 contestants. They drop them off in like remote areas, and they have to like carry their own camera.
Oh, is that like where they're like naked? Isn't it called like Naked and Afraid?
No,
or something?
there's one like this, but I think this one's called Alone. And
okay.
There's other contestants there, and you get to pick like 12 items. But like if you get too scared or something, you call on a satellite phone and be like, I fucking quit because I'm a pussy. And they bring a helicopter in. They're like, hey, you just messed up. You're like, well, how many people are left? They're like, 1. Like, damn it. Missed it by that much.
Yeah. That would be me.
Yeah.
That would be me.
It's funny. You watch that show and there's like the last, I've only seen a few episodes with my folks whenever I go back home, but there's one where they did it in tandems. It was like a dad and a son. And like they're like the first like 20 minutes of it, they're talking about like, oh yeah, it's dad and son. And you know, dad.
And the son's like, I'm hungry. The guy's like, quit being a pussy.
Well, no, they're like, oh, we're so outdoorsy, blah, 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 blah. And the idea is that one of them would get like dropped off at their campsite and the other person had to kind of find them. And so the dad's like trucking through all this like cold water, trying to get to where his kid is. And his kid ends up like rolling his ankle. And he's like, He like they're not even there for like an hour and he's calling on the satellite phone. And so like you see the dad, like this is totally what my dad would do. As my dad's like, I'll take the hard job. Like you just sit on the beach, play with the rocks, don't get eaten by a bear. Yeah. And I will come to you and build everything. Laura, I got this under control. Make sure my Pookie Bear is safe.
On the satellite phone. Where's my Pookie Bear? Laura,
how'd you even get this
he's
number?
Sitting on the beach. He's skipping rocks.
Not even doing it well.
He's skipping and throwing rocks. Stop skipping down the beach. You're going to attract bears. They can smell the vagina on you.
So the dad's like trekking through all this stuff, and the kid rolls his ankle and calls on the satellite phone. They haven't even been there for a whole night. It's been like an hour.
Okay.
And so you see the helicopter come in, and the dad like is like, fuck. And so they come out, and he's like, is my kid okay? And they're like, yeah, he's safe. He's fine. Did he get hurt? No, he just called us in because he's a pussy. Damn it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that ride, that's like the ride home. Like, I've messed up and disappointed my dad. But like, could you imagine like the 4-hour plane ride back to wherever you came from, like the 6-hour car ride back home?
Yeah, yeah. especially after the 6-hour car ride there, and then you're there out in the woods for an hour, and then there's the 6-hour car ride back.
Your dad's like, all right, Shawn, so I'll take care of this. Just like I said, you lay on the beach. Don't fuck this up for me. I need a brand new vehicle. I've got my eyes on this like awesome 4-wheeler. Don't fuck this up.
Don't you fuck this up for me.
I could have took your sister, but they're like, no, the dad-son angle will be really cool and cute.
And I'm like, have you met him? Have you met my boy?
Dad, do I get like internet out there? Can I get my podcast? Laura, make him sleep outside. I can't spend a whole month in the woods with him.
He needs to toughen up. Give him a day. Let him test the waters. Like after 20 minutes, Dad, can I come inside? It's cold out here.
Oh God, I think it's raining. I want to catch a chill. So the whole car.
Can I have that blanket on the couch?
That's how. So that's how I practice.
It's like your mom's Afghan that you just have wrapped around yourself.
Well, this is how I practice. So it's like the week before Dad and I go out on this trip, and I come home and I get like one of those kid tents, like a turtle's tent. And I pop it up in the living room, like, Dad, I'm ready to practice. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, do you feel that breeze, Dad? It's the fan,
it's so
Shawn.
Cold. Let's huddle together for warmth. Do you want to be the big spoon or the little spoon? Laura!
You gotta practice, John. Oh,
God damn it.
I'll be the big spoon.
So then, like, on the plane ride there, they're like, all right, boy, listen to me. When we land, just don't worry. Just don't do anything. Just find a tree stump and just sit there and just let me take care of it.
Can I skip rocks? No. You're gonna hurt yourself.
I don't trust you skipping rocks.
You'll fall in the water. You'll attract a bear.
Then we're dead.
You'll break a nail. I just don't know. Just tree stump.
You'll
sit.
Snap a heel. I don't know whatever the fuck it is you people do.
All right, now repeat to me.
You people. children. That's what I mean.
So it's like repeat after me what I said. I'm gonna go on the beach and skip rocks. No! What are you gonna do? Sit on the stump by a tree. Good.
And what? That's it.
And so it's like 6-hour car ride there. You know, the 2-hour plane ride, they drop us off. It's been an hour, and you're sitting on that plane ride with Dad. He's like,
Dad, I fell off the stump.
I was scared.
There was a sound coming from the woods. That was me, you dumbass. I was bringing firewood. I was bringing branches to build us a fucking shelter.
But I heard
Damn
a bear.
It, I should have brought your sister.
But I heard a bear. No, you heard me say, Shawn, I'm not a bear. It's your dad. Oh, I thought it was Papa Bear. Silly me. Do we get a redo? Can we try again?
Mulligan.
The whole ride home. So the whole ride home, Dad's pissed, right? Not even talking to me. I drive him back to his house and let him out. I'm like, so Dad, do you want to hang out next weekend?
Can we go camping?
I got my turtle tent.
He just punches you in the face. Okay, so they were attempting to build a self-sufficient community. Now that's okay, so that's kind of a feat because we're not just talking about like, oh, we're dropping you off in the woods and, fend for yourself. This is, we want you to build a community. So basically, from what it sounds like they're asking them to build like an eco village.
So like probably, I don't know if they do solar power, but they might do like
probably like wind power because they're up in the highlands. They could probably get some decent wind.
Well, it depends if they get the gear to do that. Because I mean, you couldn't just like build that on your own. But you could probably, if you found a creek, you could probably do like what do they call those things that run in the water?
A water wheel?
Water wheel. Is that really what it's called?
I think so.
Build a water wheel.
Rock me, mama, like a water wheel.
And then they could like pound grain. Because that's what those are for, right? It'd lift up a big rock and on grain.
No, it doesn't lift up a big rock. It's like, okay, imagine like a big stone bowl, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a rock inside the bowl that like rolls around, kind of like a mixing bowl. Think of it like a mixing bowl, but everything's made out of rock. So as the water pushes the wheel around, it spins this rock around in this bowl. So then you take grains and you dump them in the bowl, and then as the rock goes around it, it smashes the grains and grinds them up.
Oh, public schools are terrible.
And then you get flour.
Yeah, I was always told it was like a rock, but maybe I just misunderstood. I was like, teacher, does it like go up and down? Sure, Shawn, whatever.
How does it go up and down, Shawn? Like this!
One day you're going to make a woman proud, and it's just going to be your mom.
I feel like you're going to need that motion, Shawn.
What do you mean, teacher?
All I'm going to say is, like, marry young. Marry young and marry fast. If you get a woman, you hold on to her like grim death. Thanks, teacher. Okay, so this was filmed by the participants themselves. Production began in March of 2016. Unknown to the participants, broadcasting ceased after 4 episodes due to poor viewer ratings.
Well, how'd they get the stuff if it was if they were filming on their own? Did they like go out and get the SIM cards?
I guess, or just people bring it, or I guess when they were done, they brought the footage back. I don't know. However, the final 5 episodes were broadcast in August of 2017. So a year after they stopped airing it, they aired the rest of it.
Oh, so the people survived. They didn't die.
No. As far as I know, nobody died.
How would you feel?
So
like,
that's good.
You've been out there this whole time, like thinking you're on TV, like, oh my gosh, my mom's gonna be so happy to hear from me. Like she's at least gonna see me on TV. And like all of a sudden, like your mom turns in Thursday night at 7. Like, yeah, sorry, Eden's been canceled. Call the network. Why has it been canceled?
You canceled my son? You canceled my Pookie Bear?
Mom is trekking out there to save you. You see your mom storming up there. Oh my God,
you're on a hill. You're on a hill and you're covered and you're like half naked. You're covered in like shit and dirt and everything else. And then there's just this woman in an overcoat and galoshes like traipsing up the hill. I'm looking for Shawn!
He might go by Pookie Bear.
Oh my God, it's my mother.
Oh, tell her I died. Tell her I died.
Say I got eaten by a bear. Tell him I was skipping in the woods. She would believe that.
He died just like he lived. Goldilocks.
The aim of the show was to act as a social experiment to ascertain if participants could build a self-sufficient community away from the technology and hectic pace of modern life.
I could get for that. I could get behind that.
I'll tell you what, there was a reality show that I actually kind of liked. It was a little scripted. I felt like it was that some events were scripted, but not necessarily from the participants. Like there were scripted events that happened around them. And it was this reality show on Discovery Channel called The Colony.
I've seen that. I saw the first season. It was a little too scripted for me. I like the idea.
I felt like the second one was more scripted.
I think about halfway through the first season, like it just seemed to get more and more. Like they put them in scenarios like, okay, here's the stuff you have now, build solar power. And that's what they tried to do.
Right.
And then they had like the one dude's like wife showed up and like a group of survivors.
Yeah.
And then the ending of that one was weird. Spoiler alert, if anybody hasn't seen it and they want to, because, that was like a 10-year-old show. But like, so they're like, oh, well, we got to really leave this colony because we got to get to some other place for some reason. Because
they got a message on a radio saying that. Because the premise of the premise of the show was that it was set in this like post-apocalyptic, like there was an apocalyptic event that happened. And so now these people are trying to survive in a world gone crazy.
It was like a virus or something like that.
Yeah. It was supposed to be like there was a viral outbreak and they were unaffected, but a bunch of people died and, basic services obviously were discontinued. And so they were supposed to, they dropped them in it was like a part of LA. It was definitely LA where they were at.
Because they leave on the LA River. Right, on the side of it. But yeah, as they're leaving, I remember like the one dude who's kind of like the wild card guy, like the too cool for school guy.
Uh-huh.
They're getting ready to leave, and he's like, "This is where I leave," and everybody's like, oh, "What? You're leaving us?" It's like, "Yeah, the wild's calling me. I'm a lone wolf."
I'm a loner.
Yeah, the producer's like, "No." Dude's still wandering the LA River to this day.
Just walks up and down, asks for change. Let's see. Producers hope that the participants would not merely survive, but thrive, and that the footage would tell both their human stories as well as relate to the practicalities involved. So basically, they're like, okay, we're going to drop you off in this. In the western or in the northern Highlands of Scotland, not the most hospitable terrain, I would say.
Is there is there a lot of predators up there though, or is it pretty safe in that aspect?
I think it's pretty safe in that aspect, but I mean, not a lot of hardly any vegetation, a lot of scrub grass,
lots of wind.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of trying to farm, I don't know, because I mean, you're talking about a whole lot of rock-filled dirt. It's probably be super hard to try and cultivate anything out of that dirt. Like I said, a lot of scrub grass, not really any way for vegetation and stuff like that.
Well, that's pretty tough when you think about them starting out too, because they're not gonna like if they just drop you off with like enough food for a week. It's like, okay, well, good luck, guys, and they leave. It's like, but it takes like 6 months to grow food.
Right.
Well, you'll figure it out, just like your ancestors. Bye. Oh, make sure to keep those cameras charged.
Wait a minute, our ancestors had a life expectancy of 28. I'm 35.
Social
this isn't gonna go well. Let's see. The footage. Okay, so what they were hoping is that they would drop them off. They were hoping that they'd build this like awesome, amazing place, like Disneyland in the fucking Highlands, and that during that time they would tell their human stories, which I'm guessing is like, I used to be a banker.
I used to bank all day. The tough rustle of the lot, every day is just a drag. Like, I'd sit there at my cubicle and I'd look out and see.
And wish for something better.
Yeah.
And now I'm here farming cows.
without
Sometimes
the cows.
I rub the shit on my face just so I can feel. And you know what I smell? Freedom. The participants were given no other goal or task than the broad aim of building a community. So it sounds like they didn't have any, like, it wasn't like Survivor. There wasn't like bullshit games to do. There wasn't, you know, oh, we're going to vote people out and blah, 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 blah. It was just, we're dropping these people off, build some, like, make town and film it.
So you get picked and like they're doing the orientation. Somebody raise their hand. So, Mr. Producer guy, it's like, yeah, you. Who's going to die first? Me? Yeah, you. You're definitely going to die first. My name's Shawn. Okay, Shawn, who dies first? I like the ring of that. Hey, write that down, Greg.
Yeah.
Got it.
We'll call that the first step. We'll make that well, because, like, you know, first episode of any series, they always just call it the pilot. Like, I don't like pilot. That's too generic. We'll call first episode Shawn Dies First. That'll be a real eye catcher. We'll put that right in the title.
Wait, Greg, did we get these guys to sign all those non-disclosures and those we're not
Eden.
responsible?
Shawn Dies First.
All right, you had a question. I don't really care, but go ahead and ask. I guess I'll still ask it, but what's the objective? Well, obviously, if you can't tell by the title, it's, you know, don't die, basically.
Yeah.
You're going to lose, obviously.
Eden. Its title's called Eden. You're supposed to build Eden. First thing, so just copy everything they did in Eden.
I haven't read the book.
Do you have instructions? They just throw down Genesis. Then I'm taking off my shirt. What are you doing? What? The book says they were naked.
Does anybody have a fig leaf? Anybody have a fig leaf? Ah, well, just let this shit hang out. We haven't eaten the apple yet. Oh God, put it away. I don't want to eat an apple to see the worst of that.
Oh.
Now I feel dirty.
No, broad aim of building a community, being allowed to decide for themselves how to feed, shelter, and organize themselves.
First day, it's like, I'm mayor. Wait, what do you mean you're mayor? Well,
I'm the mayor.
I was going to be
decided.
king, but I figured mayor was a better way. I'll start out at mayor. No, you know what? I want to be king. I'm king of Eden.
I thought if I said king, everybody get all pissed. But I thought mayor was kind of like, you know, a compromise. Compromise? You're the mayor. Oh, see, you agree. I'm the mayor.
First law is you can't, you know, elections every 15 years, so it's going to be a long...
Rule number 2, mayor can't be impeached. Rule number 3, mayor gets a nap between 11 and 4 every day. Well, good night.
Look at that. It's 11:30. How can you tell you're not wearing a watch? Rule number 4, mayor's the one that keeps track of time.
Participants were solicited with an online advert that asked, "Are you tired of modern life? Would you like to start all over again?" This sounds like a terrible ad. This is how serial killers find people.
Or people trying to sell you like self-help books.
So Shawn, you're on Craigslist and you know, maybe you're looking for a job. Maybe you're just trolling through Craigslist. You're at the casual encounter section on Craigslist, and you're like, find me a sweet hookup. And you see this ad. It says, "Are you tired of modern life?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm here. I'm in my cubicle all day. I don't like this. Would you like to start all over again?" "Oh God, yes, so very much. Come to Eden." And you're like, "Oh, I read about Eden. I heard about it. I heard it was in a book."
You're like, assisted suicide's legal here now? Awesome.
Oh my God, that's a good point.
Yeah.
What if they built a community? What if they set up laws like
you can't be over the age of 30.
Like the zone of death in Yosemite.
Yeah. There's like a 10 by 10
They have
foot
a purge
block.
every like 3 months.
Well, I'm thinking like there's like a 10 foot by 10 foot square, and like there's like if you walk into it, like anybody can kill you. Like it's like the zone, like the zone of death, or the Thunderdome, the Thunder Block. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Two enter, one leave.
You like?
Oh my God! How would see now if they did shit like that, it probably would have stayed on for longer than 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean you got to make sure the lawyers write the contracts good enough that nobody can sue you. But yeah, why not?
Good point. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so if you're the television executive and you just slide this tape down the table, you're like, put this in, watch this.
It's like,
Is this
like people
is
screaming,
this a Thunderdome?
people on fire. It's like, wait, these are really good graphics. Like, did you like? I mean, our pilots only have a $10,000 budget. It's like, yeah, we used $3,000.
Yeah.
So wow, we got to get this makeup artist on like The Walking Dead or something.
And then one guy's like, $3,000. Hell, that fucking gas is $2.89. That's how much we use. That's how much we spent. 1 gallon of gasoline and a match.
And
There's your fucking special effects.
And a lot of pissed off, depressed people. Who's that guy sitting way up there? Oh, that's Mayor Shawn. We thought he was going to die in this episode, but he kind of outsmarted us.
Participants had the choice to leave the show at any time, subject to following a specified protocol, which I'm not exactly sure what that is yet. Channel 4 proposed the project to the owner of the estate, which I'm guessing is the area where they decide they're going to film this thing at. They proposed the project to the owner in December of 2015. The series is being produced by KEO Films, and the genesis of the show is a reality TV-based social experiment based around community building, has previously been pioneered by the BBC, who broadcast Castaway 2000, and this was back in 2000.
Well, that's
this was
when
right around the time of Survivor.
Yeah, Survivor spawned up because that's where Survivor started. Then there was Big Brother.
Yeah,
and there was which Big Brother never made sense to me.
No, me neither.
And every other reality TV show that came
yeah,
after
all the other ones that I don't fucking know nor care about.
Yeah, and you can thank like that show for like Teen Mom, Kate and Steve plus 8. 37 kids and counting.
Castaway 2000 followed the efforts of 36 men, women, and children on a remote Scottish island. According to the Radio Times, however, Castaway's integrity as a pioneering format was compromised, quote, by regular interference and assistance from the outside world and the production team's alleged focus on conflict. So they're saying that this Castaway 2000, they were like people were bringing them shit on this island, and then they're saying that the people that were running the show's like, hey, you know, I heard Tom said some shit about you. I think he's fucking your wife.
I think he is. I think they're doing it right now. She's right here next to me. She wasn't a minute ago. God damn you, Tom!
She wasn't a minute ago. You whore! Whap! This is so good. We're getting an Emmy for this. Since Castaway, the idea for a truly unmediated show has been discussed by broadcasters, but it was not until 3 things came into alignment before the idea was taken from the idea stage to execution. These 3 things are the use of fixed rig filming technology as pioneered by the show One Born Every Minute, the change in appetite for a return to social experiment style reality TV, and the growth of disenfranchisement and interest in self-sufficient living. Which, that makes sense. Following the late 2000 recession. So basically they were saying because of the recession that people were feeling like they wanted to get more, not get so caught up in money and the rat race and everything, which I totally understand.
Oh yeah.
I totally feel that way. The whole minimalism thing, like that all sounds great. I've stated my whole thing with minimalism though. It's been argued that the filming of the show coming so soon after the quote start again mood after the Brexit referendum was either genius planning or extremely lucky timing.
So when did this show come out? Was it fairly recent then? Because Brexit was only like 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, because they started in, March of last year.
Holy shit, are they still out there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I just imagine like some exec, like after they cancel it, like 6 months later, is like, so do we still want to like do anything with this video? These people out there, it's like, shit. I thought Brad was going to tell them to quit. No, they're still out there.
Tom was going to tell them to quit. I thought Steve was going to tell them to quit. Oh my God, shit. They're all dead, aren't they?
Oh, beep. This is beep and beep shit. Because it's the reality show of the network. They can't say fuck on TV.
Of course.
Yeah, you walk out there and it's like what was the M. Night Shyamalan where they had the cottage or they had the village? You walk out there and it's just like the village. They've got like makeshift graves.
Father
always said the producers would come.
Mixed in with filming began in March of 2016. Footage for the show was obtained in 3 ways: from a network of fixed rig cameras, from 4 embedded camera operators, and GoPro personal cameras. 4 of the participants were the designated embedded camera operators and were expected to film proceedings in addition to being fully functioning members of the community. So basically they're saying that these guys, the people that are the quote-unquote cameramen, are also participants in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But they have the added job of being expected to film it.
Gotcha.
All other participants were issued with their own personal GoPro camera to supplement filming. The fixed camera setup comprised of a large network of remotely operated CCTV cameras, the rig for which had to be transported onto the site by helicopter. There were a total of 45 cameras.
That's not that many when you consider, 40-some people? 30-some people?
Well, no. The 30-some people was for that Castaway show.
Gotcha.
This was 16 people? 23 people.
Wow.
Mixed in with the filming shown during episodes was a small amount of footage of participants filmed individually in places to camera before it began, where they give some information about their motivations and their beliefs. So they did like pre-interviews, I guess. Participants were allowed to specify in advance what supplies, tools, and equipment they thought they would need, which was left for them on site.
Tool number 1, electricity.
Yeah, right. A giant generator, a 5-mile-long extension cord. Each was also permitted to carry onto the site some personal belongings in a large rucksack. These initial supplies included livestock such as chickens, sheep, and goats, and seeds and vegetables, and basic building materials such as pipes and tarpaulin.
You just bring like 700 cans of Spam.
The participants were supplied with a basic set of food rations with the expectation that within a short period they would become self-sufficient in terms of food supply, living on the produce of a vegetable garden and the milk, eggs, and meat from the livestock. At the start of filming, most of the livestock were either pregnant or too young to be slaughtered. Hey, who put the chickens together? Who put the sheep together? Oh, now we can't kill the sheep because that's murder. I don't give a damn about your right-wing beliefs, Ted. According to show producers, 3 months into the experiment, the participants were getting along well. The atmosphere was being described as not totally harmonious, but it's not explosive in a negative sense. They said in 2016, it was said that they were achieving impressive results as they worked together to overcome challenges.
Ooh, what kind of challenges? Like life-threatening challenges?
Maybe.
Or was it like mutiny against the mayor?
The estate was owned by Donald Houston, who says it had been uninhabited since the Bronze Age, and describes it as a challenging environment with prevailing wet and windy conditions and, quote, not very fertile ground. That's what I was saying, because they're in the middle of the fucking highlands. It's the mountains. Posing challenges to building shelter and growing crops. Although the site does have some more sheltered areas initially depicted as wet and windy, by episode 2, the site had also been covered in snow. That's a good point. Fucking, I don't know if you know this, Shawn. Scotland can get cold.
Yeah, it'd be like the Scotland Donner Party.
Oh, fuck.
That would get the ratings up.
We can't eat the sheep. They're pregnant. Looks like we have to eat Dave.
Why are we going to eat me? Because you're the fat one, Dave.
Maybe I'm pregnant.
That's a good point.
Well, he got us there.
He hasn't had his menstrual cycle yet. I've checked.
Oh, God, I missed my period for the last 5 years. The Eden site is roughly triangular with a coastline on the northwest and east side and the rest of the peninsula to the south, covered mostly in forest. There's a beach, and between the beach and the forest lies a strip of dunes.
So they're like trapped there. Like they can't even like walk away.
Yeah.
It's like cliff, water, or forest.
There were 2 pre-existing structures. One was a corrugated iron tool shed and an unenclosed hay barn. This became the location group's first campsite, being known as the summer site. Another site, becoming known as the winter camp, was then established on the northeast side inside the forest. To ensure no members of the public enter the site during filming, the production company was granted a temporary suspension of the public right of access.
There's just like a big yellow tape around it.
Yeah. 13 men and 10 women were total. Some have partners who they will be away from for the duration of the experiment. Once filming had begun, the identities of participants were initially withheld until they had decided when the series would be broadcast.
So how do you think your wife would feel? It's like, okay, babe, I'm going to go for a year in this secluded place with 12 other guys and 10 women. I guess if your wife, like our wives did the math, it's like, okay, well, there's 12 other guys and only 10 women. Yeah, I have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, you're fine. Plus, it's you.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Wait, we got a life insurance policy, right? Because I'm sure you're going to die first.
You're probably going to die first.
Oh, you've read the pilot episode.
I bet they're going to call the first episode Shawn dies first.
I'm going to call my dad for support. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, Dad, I'm doing another reality show. No, they're not dropping me off in the woods. It's kind of similar, though. It's called Eden. What do you mean, don't eat the apple? Put Mom on the phone. No, I'm not going to eat the apple, Mom. Okay, I love you, too.
Is that...
I'm your little Pookie Bear.
Yeah.
Bye.
I get it. The apple's code for gay sex.
But I want to be the most popular boy on the island. It's like prison. You got to be the strongest or the willing to do the most sexually.
Oh, just like high school. There are episode synopses. They're pretty long. I don't know if I want to go into them. The first one gives the date, which is March 23rd of 2016. Everybody enters in intervals individually. They congregate on the 2 buildings and they introduce themselves.
It's like each one was
the
like
first building activity begins with the construction of a drop toilet, a warm shower, and a basic kitchen.
Oh, warm shower is a good call.
Agreed, especially in the winter.
Yeah, well, it'd be okay at first, but then wouldn't it be bad? Because you'd be wet and then cold.
That's why you gotta hurry and dry off. I don't know how.
Because you don't have towels.
After just a few days, one of the pigs that is not pregnant is slaughtered for food. A large teepee is constructed on the sands for group meetings using logs and covered with tree branches, complete with a fire. Like this is where we vote people off.
Why is the sign say Mayor Shawn's not allowed? It should say Mayor Shawn's not allowed. You guys are being jerks. Law number 6.
Let's set your teepee on fire. How you like that? Yeah, I will win the game of Eden.
I'm just sitting out there with rocks. Click, click, click. You guys just wait. Click.
Yeah.
I think I saw a spark. Click.
If my dad was here, you guys would be so dead right now. The polytunnels for the garden are also erected. Disliking the group sleeping arrangements, and a person named Anton begins sleeping in the tool shed. He expressed doubts that the exposed nature of the campsite is not going to be suitable given the winds expected during the winter months. He begins work on an 8-person hut on a site to the northeast, inside the forest but near the coast.
He's like, me and the other ladies, that's it.
I know it's supposed to sleep 8, but it's just 2. This is the honeymoon hut.
He's the Hugh Hefner of Eden.
Who else? You are you 2 gonna fuck? No? Well, you can't come in the honeymoon hut. Not allowed. Friction develops between Anton and some other participants after he continues to work on the other site, and a group vote of 12 to 10 denies him use of a barrel and some like housing material, despite some of the latter having been used to build a sauna.
Man, these people are trying to live high off the hog.
Right?
It's like, all right, first thing, food? No. Shelter?
Sauna.
No. Sauna.
You gotta relax these muscles. Having been left to roam free, one of the goats dies after eating from an open sack of chicken feed in the tool shed.
Oh.
The group is still largely surviving on their initial rations, and they begin to tire of their mainly potato-based diet, despite Steven's best efforts at varying the menus. A few personal items such as tobacco and chocolate that each person brought with them begin to gain in trading value between participants. Fueled by moonshine, romances begin to develop in the group.
Oh, yeah.
This is why I built the honeymoon hut.
It's just dudes showing up every time. I'm here for the honeymoon suite.
Where the fuck did they get moonshine?
It's like a jail toilet wine.
Like, and I'm sorry, but if I'm bringing, if they're saying I can bring personal items, I don't know if tobacco and chocolate are things I would bring.
Well, what do they say? Like during any of those things, like alcohol and is it medicine are the two things that go the longest way?
Yeah, I could see that. So I guess, yeah. You're gonna bring moonshine.
But that seems like
when
I
Sean's
wouldn't.
packing his bag, he's gonna load it with moonshine.
Yeah, then everybody take it from me, be like, "Hey, you stay out here, nerd." But I want to go in the honeymoon suite.
But I'm the mayor.
Law
I'm
7.
the moonshine mayor.
Law 7, that moonshine mayor Shawn could go into the honeymoon suite, and you guys aren't listening to me.
I hate this honeymoon hut. I'm gonna set it on fire.
Click, click, click. Wish my dad was here.
All right. So that's episode 1.
Oh, geez. So romance has started on episode 1?
Yeah.
That moved fast.
We're only episode 1. But keep in mind, Shawn, there's only 4.
Okay.
Okay. So episode 2, this is 1 month in. Anton has moved to the winter site, which is the honeymoon hut, due to the vote to deny him materials. As rations run low, the participants become tired of their potato-dominated diet. I'm sorry, but you know what? Like, that's your lot in life. You're eating potatoes.
Yeah.
Stop being a fucking baby about it.
It's like, oh, guess what? Mashed potatoes again tonight, huh, Steve? Well, what the fuck else you want me to cook? Baked potatoes?
Yeah.
We had those yesterday.
What the fuck else you want me to cook?
What's a fucking French fry? Actually, you could do French fries. That wouldn't be bad. You could do quite a bit of potatoes.
How could you do French fries?
Well, I mean, just slice them up, and if you figure out, like, the fat from, like, the goat you killed, and you, like, fry them in that, I bet it'd be delicious.
The goat died from eating grain.
Well, they had multiple goats, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Rations run low. Participants become tired of their potato-dominated diet. When Jack is placed in charge of rations, he lays down a potato-based menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and sets aside staples for the entire year. With the participants' physical condition deteriorating, a makeshift gym is constructed. With the soil not yet prepared, the garden is behind schedule. Okay, so wait a minute. So they're getting shitty about the potatoes.
Yeah. It's like, hey, but
instead of working on the garden, they're gonna build a fucking gym.
Yeah, they're gonna make a makeshift gold gym. It's like, hey, you got your membership?
No.
Oh, sorry.
You can't come in the gym then. I hate this gym. Set on fire.
Click, click, click.
Yeah, well, like you're working on building a gym. Like, what the fuck? Make food first.
Well, it's
food is priority. And like, why don't you get some exercise building the fucking garden?
Yeah, no shit.
Dingus.
Well, it's kind of like, like back in the day, like when, our great grandparents were, farming 10 hours a day. They didn't have Gold's Gyms. You know why? Because they're working their asses off all day.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I heard that's why breakfast is.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
Like why breakfast is such like a fat-based meal, because most people are like back in the day, like that was pretty much the only meal they ate.
Yeah, I guess for dinner it'd probably just been kind of like topping off whatever they could.
Yeah.
So
like
out.
you would eat enough at breakfast to like last you the whole day. And that's why it's all like biscuits and gravy and bacon and eggs and
I
fucking.
love me some good biscuits and gravy.
Oh yeah.
I might have to hit up a buffet this weekend.
To make more progress, the group organizes into work gangs. Although, quote, there should be plenty of fish and crab around in spring, according to the narrator, there has been no catch as of yet. So the group agree to Fisherman Lloyd building a fisherman's hut so he can redouble his efforts. It is deemed by some that Tara is not pulling her weight, and she is giving the boring task of sorting potatoes.
Oh, that's got to be, it's like, that's good potato. Because really, how can you tell a bad potato unless it's mushy?
And also, if you're fucking like starving, you're probably they're all good potatoes.
Yeah. We'll give this one to Greg because.
Or if you're just like, if you're apparently being as stupid about the fucking potatoes, be like, I hate all the potatoes. They're all bad potatoes.
I'm going to light them all on fire. Click, 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 click,
click. So she's feeling isolated and underutilized. And so she seeks out Anton in his camp. So she's going to the honeymoon hut. Yeah.
I just imagine like this like employee survey type thing going on here. It's like, I'm not feeling like I'm being appreciated for all the potato stuff that I'm doing. What potato stuff? Yeah,
that's what happens in like the interview section.
Well, I sort who told you to sort the potatoes? Like they don't really go bad.
Yeah, they're fucking potatoes.
I move them from this pile to this pile.
So you're moving the potatoes.
Yeah, I'm sorting them. How many have you thrown away?
You're moving them.
0. So you're moving them. This is what I'm saying. You guys just don't understand. I'm going to go see Anton.
Okay, Shawn. 2 fishermen land in a boat on the beach and inform the group that there won't be any fish in the sea for a month.
Oh, they're like, we fished all the fish, bitches.
After which mackerel will begin to arrive. Having begun taking materials without asking, some participants' discontentment with Anton comes to a head.
Oh, and shit.
Steven agrees to communicate the group's concerns in person, but it only results in an argument between Anton and the group back at the main camp. After a snowfall, the group begins to worry about Anton when they can't find him. He returns to the main camp hours later after going for a walk.
He's chipping into a rock, all fun and no play makes Anton a dull boy. Here's Anton. Why do you name the honeymoon the Overlook? I don't get that. Oh God, he's gone crazy.
Oh no, this is how it starts. By the time the snow is gone the next day, he has decided to move back into the main sleeping quarters. Sugar cravings, particularly among the women, lead to suspicion of pilfering from the rations. Morale is boosted after the fishermen who visited before return with a small package containing sweets, chocolate bars, beer, tinned beans, apples, and bananas. Tara is given permission to change her role on a trial basis, becoming the group's masseuse? What?
I feel like these people don't really understand what it means to survive.
Oh my God.
All right, next.
Yeah, we need. Are you tired of modern life? Like, I hate modern life and all the I could live without all the modern conveniences except a sauna and a masseuse.
Well, I imagine they're like interviewing Brian, and Brian's like, they're like, so what's your job here in Eden? He's like, I'm a loan officer.
I'm the group's loan officer. What are you loaning? Oh, potatoes.
I got Anton a really good percentage on his honeymoon suite.
Oh, Jesus. After a fishing trip, the group manages to catch its first fish and catches crabs and pots, as well as finding razor clams in the sand.
Ow,
to celebrate,
horrible.
A seafood feast is prepared. Yay. That's the second episode. So that's we're episode 2. So things are looking up.
Yeah, they have a big all you can eat Red Lobster buffet type thing.
Right? And meanwhile, apparently fishermen are showing up and giving them beer.
Yeah, and then they killed the fishermen and took their boats.
and ate them and slept with the bodies in the honeymoon hut. All right, episode 3, 6 weeks into the experiment, and the garden is still a month away from harvest. The hens are not laying at full capacity while they still adjust to their new surroundings. Pilfering of rations continues. So people are they need to lock that shit up. Don't they have a tool shed? And they lock it up in a tool shed?
Well, I think, was it Cynthia or Amy or whatever her name was that was moving potatoes? Like, she's not doing a very good job. She's too busy massaging people instead of keeping eyes on the goods.
On the potato piles.
Yeah.
Pilfering continues and disputes emerge over participants' perceptions of each other's work rate. With a lack of direction over future plans, a small group use a salvaged pontoon to begin converting the tool shed into a winter dwelling. After a prototype 2-person wicker hut is built, the group resolves to eventually relocate to Anton's winter site. That's the honeymoon hut.
Yeah.
And after a motivational speech from Jack, a new system of setting aside one day a week, this is Friday, as a community build day to work on it as one workforce is introduced.
All right, guys. This is what we're going to do. Trust falls. Ready? Go.
Be like, oh, I know all about trust falls. I used to be a loan officer. You are the loan officer. Oh, yeah. Well, go with what you know.
I'm so glad we left the hustle and bustle of the real world.
After Katie is upset by Steven, a confrontation erupts between him and Robert, leading to her considering leaving. Tensions ease and the group enjoy a games event featuring volleyball. What are you doing?
Wilson!
God. Stop playing volleyball and getting massages and hanging out in the sun and fucking fix your shit. Build a garden. Try to not die of fucking hypothermia. All right, episode 4, Shawn.
This is the last
spring.
One. I don't understand how this show didn't make it.
Well, this is the last one until like a year later when they broadcast the rest. It's spring, and although the sheep are lambing and a litter of piglets have been born, neither can be eaten for another month.
Oh, geez. Why can't you eat a piglet sooner than later?
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure.
I figured if you're hungry enough, you can make it work.
Plus, you got to feed the goddamn things.
That's a good call, yeah.
Like, that's taking away your food.
Mm-hmm.
Neither can be eaten for another month, and with the fish yield being lower than expected, hunger is beginning to take its toll.
Oh.
The carcass of one of the ewes, which is the baby lambs that had drowned in the bog, is eaten, and although it is also decided to slaughter one of the ewes whose lamb did not survive.
Hey, Katie, eat this drowned goat. Why? Because you're a raging bitch when you're hungry.
You know how you get when you're hungry. Better, and she's got blood all over her mouth. Better. Glenn and Carolyn are becoming close. Perhaps a haggis feast for the group from the end. Preparing a haggis feast for the group from the entrails because it's Scotland.
Yeah.
You know. A 1980s themed birthday party is held for Steven. What are you doing?
We're making costumes.
I want to be Marty McFly.
I'm Rocky.
I'm going to be the dude from Weird Science.
Miami Vice, here I come.
Oh, shit. Tensions persist over Tara's perceived lack of effort, although when Rachel reminds the group that they intended to vote on whether or not to continue her trial period as a masseuse, after 2 weeks, the group decides she can continue. Yeah, because
it was 13 to 12. All the guys voted, yeah, we're keeping her.
I think she's good at easing tensions.
She's figuring it out.
Glenn learns his affections for Caroline are not mutual, with Caroline instead being pursued by Titch. This guy's name, Titch. And his mood takes a turn, exacerbated by the fact that it is still not yet the hunting season, leading him to question his participation. With complaints about other people's work rate persisting, Glenn and some others ponder how those perceived to be the hardest workers could set adrift the lesser members, either by being intentionally difficult or offensive to force them to leave, or to split off into a subgroup, leading to alarm in the rest of the camp. With 3 months having passed, the group is still some way from self-sufficiency. The weather delayed some progress, but with some now failing to turn up for the community build days on the winter site, Glenn is doing so out of protest. After a touchy encounter with Glenn and with conversations with friend Rachel failing to have any effect, Tara concludes she no longer wants to be part of the experiment and leaves.
Oh, so I imagine they're on strike and they're carrying around these signs like "No more building, no more food." Katie, get out! You stupid.
And then Tara's like, "I don't want to do massages anymore. I'm leaving." And then the guys are like, "No,
I'm leaving too." Don't die on me, Richard.
I got choked up a bit. A little water down the wrong tube. Okay, so that was those 4 episodes. Now apparently the audience had got between, by the time they got to episode 4, the difference between episode 1 and 4, their audience had half the audience had left.
I'm trying to figure out why. I'm pretty intrigued.
So they started out with 1.7 million viewers, and by episode 4, it dropped to 800,000.
So about half, just under half, over half.
So then that's when the network was like, you know what, fuck, we're just not going to do it anymore.
Hey, Steve, go tell them we're going to stop production. We'll bring them home. We'll write them the checks. Call it good. We'll write it off. Okay, and one of those guys a loan officer? Let's see if we can get something going there.
All right. So I'm going to give you the season, or the second part. I'll just give you the finale, because I feel like we need some closure on here. All right, ready?
Ready.
This is the big reveal. It is revealed that contraband supplies have been delivered to participants.
So the masseuse has been getting something from the fisherman?
No, she left.
Oh, yeah.
This included food, drink, and a mobile phone.
Oh.
The participants have to decide what to do about this. There is a meeting. No one admits to having a phone, and it is decided that whoever has it can leave it in a particular place. Later, a phone is found in the place decided at the meeting. One of the Valley Boys finds a pack of supplies, which he takes. He says, "Finders keepers." Even though he believes it was left by Rob for Katie, Katie realizes it's gone and angrily accuses the Valley Boys. Early on the last day of the experiment, Katie's hut burns down.
Finally, success! Click, 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 click. Oh shit, sparks!
I did it! I didn't need Dad! So yeah, so apparently in the second part is a lot of just people leaving. They're in the first one, they start out with 23. They're down to 19 after the first part, the first episode of the second part, which all these are titled Paradise Lost. So it's Paradise Lost part 1 of 5, part 2 of 5.
And that's the second half of the season. The unaired episodes.
Yeah. In the second one, 3 more of them leave.
Katie's the only one left, it sounds like.
At this point, the women have now gone. At this point, half of the women have now gone. There are complaints about the gardening, which has been left to Rachel, and then she leaves. According to the narrator, the camp now has 14 members, but somebody's missing.
Oh, shit.
There's an article that says that Fisherman Lloyd has left.
Was just the fisherman just walks up, I'll give this a shot. Starts hanging out with them, so they gain a member.
14 become 12 after Anton is forced to leave in a dodgy vote of 9-3, which is called 75% majority, ignoring the 2 non-voting absent members who just happened to be those being voted out. So in part 4 of 5, 4 men have split off from the group, and they're the ones that are calling themselves the Valley Boys, and they go on a meat-only diet. This means slaughtering the livestock more often than before. One of the people trained for this is Robert the vet. He is unhappy about the increased rate of slaughter and leaves in December. Despite the romance between them, Katie decides to stay, and then her hut burns down. So that's it, Shawn. That's the tale of Eden.
I feel like it's a little bit more sad than the original Tale of Eden. That seems like there's a lot of controversy in this one. More so than just an apple getting eaten. On the plus side, I don't remember a honeymoon hut in the book of Genesis. That's true.
Or a masseuse.
Well, they're kind of vague. It's only 6 pages long, so You could probably infer there might have been some masseusin going on.
In March of 2017, 10 contestants had survived the full year, but arrived home to find the show had been canceled after 4 months. The UK press picked up that many of the contestants left the site due to the disillusionment of the experiment, as well as tales of apparent near starvation. Those who left the camp took to social media, suggesting the editing of the show did not offer a full picture.
They're like, there was cannibalism. Lots of cannibalism.
Ugh.
So I guess I want to ask you the question, Richard. Would you go on a reality show based off of this? If you and I could do this together.
I don't think I know enough. I don't think I don't think I'm that
skilled.
Yeah, I don't think I'm that skilled. I don't think I'm that savvy enough to be in the wilderness.
Everybody's like, "Oh my God, we're so hungry, we're starving." Richard, what do we do? It's like, I know the model of the Millennial Falcon.
Yeah, right. Ooh, good thing we have a Millennium Falcon that we can eat, you son of a bitch. I say we kill him and eat him first. That's fair. I'll start my own cooking fire. God, I wish Dak was here.
Click, 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 click. All right, Richard. So in this Garden of Eden, Scotland reality TV show, what are your Richard's closing thoughts?
Oh, you know what? I think let's start this up. Let's end it the way we started. Reality TV is such bullshit. Like, I hate reality television. And this show didn't. It sounds like this show wouldn't change my opinion of that whatsoever.
At least it's a little bit more reality. Kinda.
I don't know. I think if there was, let's say, some sort of apocalyptic event, I don't know if my first thought is we need a sauna and a masseuse.
Good point.
Plus, it said they were bringing in contraband supplies, so it's not like anybody was taking it seriously. So reality television is not reality. That's the closing thought. If you didn't know that, I feel like most people know that.
I think they're starting
but
to
just
figure
in
it out,
case.
Yeah. All right, well, let me do a little bit of honeymoon sweet keeping. Visit our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter. We're at languageofbro. Email us at eatthebeaver at languageofbromance.com. Check out the LB Army intelligence reports. Like us on Facebook and go out and recruit somebody for the LB Army by getting someone you know to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or Stitcher.
And when you are on iTunes, please, 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 if you have the desire, if you have the wherewithal, we would so appreciate if you would go and give us a rating and a review, because those ratings and reviews are so helpful for our own personal statistics in iTunes, and also just to make us feel good.
Yeah,
unless you hate us, in which case, I mean, you can leave that too.
They have 1-star reviews. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, those reviews really keep Richard and I from going out on these reality TV shows and selling our dignity more so than we already do.
It's my way of validating my own existence in the modern world.
And you can always check us out on the Pod Bros Network.
That's the best podcast site in reality TV.
I was going to say it's the best podcast site in Eden. That's what they listen to out there. Yeah. It's like, listen, we need saunas, masseuse, and Pod Bros podcast and iTunes. And if you want to throw a little bit of money in our tip jar, go to our Patreon accounts, www.patreon.com/language of...
Yes.
All right. Was there anything else before I close her out?
Oh, no. I am spent.
All right. Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver.
Done with this podcast. We'll burn it to the ground.
All right. Let me see if I can get this going. Click, 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 click. Dad!
Laura! The boy can't even make fire!